Okay, so we got the wood cut for our little cabin that we're doing, and this is the floor diagram for it. So it's got a lot of angles to it and everything. So what we've tried to accomplish so far we're taking these tie brackets on here, and I temporarily put them on with a couple of screws and then put the regular connector nails into them. I'm going to take the screws out and finish doing the nailing, but we'll start putting the pieces together to build half of the floor in here, and then we'll build the other half, and then they can both be joined together later on, and then eventually it'll be disassembled and taken out to the site that way. Okay, so we got our floor joist layout on the floor for the first half of the building, and now we just got to get the corners connected together, and then we'll be able to lay out the joists going crosswise, and then there'll be some blocking up the middle of it to hold everything straight and square, and a place for nailing the floor. Two of those screws there. That one didn't want to go in.
Get your earplugs in.
Ready? Hi guys, we're getting the floor put together. As you can see down here, got the floor joists laid out. Started putting things together out in the ends of it, and after we looked at things, we realized that we needed to cut some angles that were beyond the capability of the miter saw. So you can see right along this line right here, that's the angle that needs to be cut on that board in order to fit. And miter saws don't really do that. They can go out to 60 degrees, but that's only in the vertical cut, and we need to be able to cut them this direction to lay them flat, and the miter only goes to 45 degrees that way. And so solutions that normally work for cutting things on the miter saw just aren't going to work here. So I'm going to try to see if I can come up with a tool that's going to involve these 4 pieces of wood here that'll let me use a router to trim off the ends of that. So I'll get to work on that, and if it works out, I'll show you how it works. I decided I'm going to put my fixture together with pocket screws, so I'm using this older style Craig jig. Just put a few holes in it. Nothing on this really needs to be too precision. That cuts your place for the pocket screws. Okay, so far I've screwed on 1 piece of wood vertically to 2 pieces here, and I put a spacer in here to create a window. That's just loose in there, so it'll be taken out later. That's where the actual cutting will take place at. And I got 1 more leg here to put on. Just load the screws right into the pocket cuts here so that I don't have to fumble around with them. Now this is the width of board that this cutter is going to be used for, so you could shim it up to use it for other sizes, or just make one specific for it, since it's pretty easy. But I'm going to put a piece of paint stick inside here just to give it a little bit of extra room, because I'm guessing this dimensional lumber is not all that dimensional, and I'll have issues trying to get other boards to fit in there, so I'll just leave it some wiggle room. Okay, so now basically I've got this shape created. It's put in with the pocket screws on both sides, and this will be the window for cutting the wood. So the plan is to be able to set this piece of wood in here at any angle that I want. I can change the angles to some pretty acute angles on there that the saw just won't be able to cut. And then I haven't figured out how I'm going to fasten to it yet. I was going to put a couple of screw holes in the side of this and just screw it into the side of the wood to hold it in place. So that might be the fastest way to go. Alternately, I might add another board inside of here at the angle I want, and then I can just clamp it on and move it around like I want. So once you get that in there, you probably could miter this off and take the 45 off of it first, just get rid of the bulk of the wood, but then the angle can be set, and this can be planed off by running the router back and forth in this slot. Okay, I got some more parts of my fixture done. So I went ahead and added that angle board to the bottom of it, and it seems to me that it'd be pretty simple to put a screw in up near the top so that board could pivot, and then you could just screw it back in wherever you want. Put a group of angles on there so that you can make this cut any angle that you wanted. I went this way because it's going to be easier for me just to lay the board I want to cut on this surface and slide it up inside here, and then just attach it with a clamp rather than screwing it onto each board individually. I added these two backstops onto each side, and that's so that the router base will hit up against here without letting the bit go any further than this edge right here. This is the board that we're wanting to cut a sample piece, and it's got this steep angle on it that isn't possible in the miter saw. So you can cut a 45 on that if you wanted to remove the excess material. You slide this up inside here, and now you can see you got your angle right here set with the board top. Clamp that in place. And then it's just going to be a simple matter of taking a router and going on top of the table and cutting across the end of your board until the angle's down to where you want it. So I'll go ahead and try that and see how it works out. Okay, and there's how that routed cut came out. You can see now the angle's flat with the jig, so that should be a perfect 54-degree angle for what I need. So I got my first angled cut piece of wood, and I'm going to put it into place. Looks like that works pretty good. So I'm going to call that a success. Get the rest of the boards cut, get this thing put together. Okay, we're back in the shop today. And Debbie here has got the first half of our floor done, and so that's what this looks like so far. We raised it up on sawhorses because working on the floor was miserable and there is no room in here to do anything. So now we're going to get started with building the second part of the floor, and we're going to build it right on top of this one.
Screw away. That should do it. Now the big board.
Now the big board. So after a couple evenings of work in the workshop, we got the other floor panel built on top of the original one, and now we're just moving things outside so further construction can happen. Debbie is clearing out a work area, so we got some place to set things up. Now we got some skid beams over here that have to be put on to the base of everything, and then now we can get on with our construction project.
the bathroom. Here's the foyer. For a small, short time.
Pull it out to quit it saw.
Got it? Sorry about that. Wait, I gotta hold it.
Ready?
Ready. You gotta turn it, so I'll hold it up while you turn. Turn it this way.
Take it back your way a little bit. Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
Ready. Go. Oh yeah, we can just flip it over then. Unless you wanted this on the top.
It's fine the way it is.
Okay.